Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you are having a fantastic day. In today's video, I'm going to take you through another in-depth perfume review, and the fragrance that we're discussing in today's video is Phlur Strawberry Letter. I have actually had this particular fragrance on my radar ever since it was launched by Phlur. The strawberry note definitely intrigued me, but I kind of figured I might hold off on actually purchasing this one until we get a little bit further into the spring and summer months again. But honestly, back in December, curiosity finally got the better of me, and I decided to go ahead and order it from Sephora. This is obviously the travel size here. If you are new to my channel, I have a personal policy that whenever possible, if a travel size is available of a new to me fragrance that I am not 100% sure about, that I purchase a travel size instead of a full size. I feel like that's just a lot less wasteful, and it's also much easier for me to finish a travel size than it is a full size. And as someone who loves personal fragrance and also reviews it here on my channel, I have quite the perfume collection, and in order to keep that in check, this is just a good policy for me. So if you never thought to try that, I highly encourage it. I know it can just be so tempting that if you think that you're gonna love something, to just go ahead and order the full size right away, but you just never know how something is going to interact with your body chemistry, so it's just a good idea to maybe try a smaller size first. But anyway, you guys, I was really intrigued by the strawberry note in this fragrance, and I feel like 2025 is going to maybe be the year of the strawberry. Last year, I felt like a lot of fragrance companies were kind of going towards lychee or lychee as a popular fruity note to include in personal fragrance, but this year I kind of feel like it might be strawberry. Nest actually just released a strawberry fragrance as well in their oil line. I'm kind of intrigued by it, but I really didn't have the best luck in terms of performance with the oils from Nest, so I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that maybe they also do a actual eau de parfum, one of their, you know, regular perfumes in their line, in a strawberry scent this year as well, so fingers crossed there. But yeah, I think this is the year of the strawberry. Let me know what fragrance, fruity fragrance note you think will be popular this year in the comments down below. All right, you guys, so let's dig into this one. I feel like this is one, I'll have it linked down below, by the way, if you want to read up a little bit more about this or kind of check out some other people's reviews. I'll have it linked on the Sephora website. This is one of those fragrances, and I feel like it's been a really long time since I have had an opinion like this about a fragrance, but I'm still not 100% sure whether I like this fragrance or not. There is something very different about the strawberry note, and once I read into the description a little bit more and looked up this specific type of strawberry that they used in here, I think it kind of makes sense as to why I'm not immediately like in love with it, because I love strawberries. I love to eat them. I love the smell of strawberries. Typically strawberry is it's a delicious note for me, right? But in here, it's interesting. So if you are, if this is one of your first reviews here, what I like to do is read through the fragrance notes, tell you what I actually detect with my nose, because every nose is going to perceive the fragrance a little bit differently. I want to talk about the lasting power as well as the overall projection, and then at the end I like to share whether I think I'll actually invest in the full size or not. I'm sure you can maybe guess right now what that answer is going to be, but we'll get to that at the end. So this fragrance in the travel size retails for $29, and in the full size, which for Phlur is 1.7 ounces, it retails for $99. So just right around the $100 price point. I do think that's fair. At least from what I have tried from Phlur so far, I feel like the price point of their fragrances is fair based on how they perform on me personally. So the fragrance family that they put this into is florals, and the scent type is a fruity floral. The keynotes here are strawberry, Gariguette. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that here in a second. I'm sorry, listen, I took a year of French in high school and none of it stuck. So I know I mispronounced that. I'm not French, I'm so sorry. Cassis leaf as well as apple blossom. So those are kind of our key notes here, but let's read the fragrance description because there's some other notes mentioned in here that I actually really, they're quite potent to my nose. So let's go ahead and dig into the fragrance description. Alluring, addictive, and undeniably sexy, Strawberry Letter is a crisp, fruity gourmand that opens with playful juiciness and then transitions with unexpectedly chic decadence. That's an interesting description. Pulpy red strawberries combine with juicy plum nectar to provide a burst of brightness. Fresh florals cascade on top of a sensual mix of amber, tonka bean, and reveal a fragrance that is compelling and surprisingly complex. I do think that this is a very complex, almost interestingly conceptual type of strawberry fragrance. Like, you know that it's strawberry that you're smelling, but like, I've never smelled a strawberry quite like this. So let's talk about these keynotes here. First, we're gonna start with the Strawberry Gariguette. Listen, this is actually a specific type of strawberry. So they say that this type of strawberry is a variety of spring strawberry. They are supposed to have a sweet, tangy flavor and are supposed to be highly fragrant. They are also slightly acidic smelling. But from everything that I've read about this specific type of strawberry is that it is definitely a sweeter strawberry with quite a bit of acidity to it, a little bit of like a tanginess as well. So I really think that that translates into this fragrance big time. This is a very distinct strawberry note, you guys. Typically strawberry that I tend to gravitate towards is just sweet, maybe not overly acidic. But yeah, just that pure sweet strawberry without like the green that sometimes can be included with the strawberry note, almost like you're including the strawberry leaves. To me, this smells like it also has a little bit of a green note to it, which would actually make sense because they're obviously listing cassis leaf here. So I think that's the green that I'm smelling, that cassis leaf, which honestly, I don't know that I would say it's cassis necessarily. I think it just smells like a leafy green type of note, if you will. I do think that there is a little bit of that apple blossom in here, and that's honestly the only floral note that I really detect in this fragrance. I don't smell jasmine, I don't smell gardenia. There's no other type of florals that really pop into here. It really smells like the main floral component is that apple blossom. It's nicely done. It's a pleasant apple blossom, and it does, I feel like, go well with this particular strawberry note. I think this was probably the best floral note to include with this specific type of strawberry. In terms of the juicy plum note that's mentioned, I do smell a little bit of plumminess in this, but really the primary fruitiness is definitely that strawberry. It is the most noticeable fruit note that you're going to get in this fragrance. It's the very first thing that hits you. And then also the amber and the tonka. I do get a healthy dose of amber, which definitely to my nose, amber always adds that warm, resinous, perfumey note that just makes a fragrance feel a little bit more maybe cozy, a little bit just warmer, right? And the tonka bean, I don't know, I feel like I actually smell a little bit more of like just a plain vanilla more so than tonka. To my nose, tonka always comes off as a heavier, much deeper, like unsweetened vanilla type of note. I do think there is definitely some sweetness in here, not a ton. It's not the sweetest strawberry, honestly, especially given that this specific type of strawberry is known to be super sweet. I feel like I'm getting more of like that acidity and that tanginess from this strawberry than I am sweetness. But yeah, like it's, I think there is a really nice vanilla here that comes off a little bit more just regular vanilla, not necessarily like a vanilla extract, take away that booziness, but yeah, just a basic vanilla note, but not like a really earthy tonka, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I get from this fragrance. In terms of the atomizer, I really have enjoyed the atomizers on these travel sizes from Phlur. It does a good job of giving you a nice, just evenly distributed mist. When this first goes on, it's definitely that heavy, like tangy, acidic strawberry note that hits me. And as it starts to dry down, some of that plum, that green note develops. And then at the base, once this all settles, is where that amber comes into play a little bit more. I do think that I like this fragrance after it dries down on my skin for about 20 minutes. Right out the gate, I think that that strawberry is quite aggressive. I think overall this pairs well with my body chemistry. I really don't think it's an issue of this not going well with my personal body chemistry, because it smells the same to me almost when I spray it on my skin as when I just spray it on like a piece of paper and smell it. Sometimes your body chemistry, as we all know, can really affect the way that a fragrance is perceived. But in this case, I think it smells exactly on my skin, like how it smells in the bottle, essentially. So I guess that's a good transition there. There's not much to develop, if you will. But yeah, I'm just not sure whether I like this or not. And it's so interesting because, like I said, usually when I try a fragrance, it's very easy for me to make a decision and be like, yes, this is for me, or no, this is not for me. So when it comes to the overall projection or strength and then lasting power of this fragrance, I feel like this is definitely a fragrance that is maybe a little bit more potent. I wouldn't suggest hosing yourself down with this. One, I think it's going to overwhelm you, and two, I think it could potentially be one of those fragrances that could overwhelm people around you who are maybe a little bit more sensitive to fragrance. So in that regard, you really don't need a lot to get a good, I guess, perfume effect from this specific fragrance. When it comes to the lasting power, I feel like that is very fair, at least by my personal standards. I would say probably around the like 5 to 6 hour mark is when I really started noticing this fading on my skin. I always, by the way, apply my personal fragrance over very moisturized skin. I think that that gives me some additional wear time with the vast majority of my fragrances. Moisturized skin is just going to hold on to fragrance better than a really dry skin would. So moisturize first and you should be good with this one. I think the 5 to 6 hour wear time before wanting to reapply is pretty fair by my personal standards, but definitely judge that by yours. So overall, will I think that I will purchase the full size of this? I don't think so. Obviously, it's one of those where I'm just not entirely sold on the fragrance. I don't dislike it, but I also don't really love it either. It's just in this weird in-between place for me where I'm curious enough about the fragrance to maybe try mixing it with some other things in my collection to see if I can figure out a more enjoyable way for me to wear the fragrance, I guess you could say. But I'm definitely not inclined to return it either. So I'm gonna keep wearing it. What I think I might do is save this for closer to the spring and summer months and then start playing with mixing this with some of my other fragrances. I think, for example, maybe adding a little bit more vanilla to this might soften up a little bit of that acidity that might be turning me off personally. So I'm gonna play around with it, but is it something that I'm just like, yes, everyone should go and try it? I'm not sure that that would be my take on it, but I think it's very interesting. If you like interesting and unique fragrances and you typically love strawberry, you might want to give this one a try. So anyway, for what it's worth, it is more of a for me. Glad I tried it, really glad I tried it, because like I said, I've had it on my list for a while, but it wasn't an instant love. So I'll keep playing with it, and you'll probably see it a little bit more in terms of my weekly beauty chit chat towards the spring and summer months this year. Anyway, I hope that this was helpful. If you are interested in more of my personal fragrance reviews, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button right below the video here. Also, if you found this review helpful, don't forget to give it a big fat thumbs up. I appreciate you being here today, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.